echo, I suppose, that microphone will be picking up. Now, I know the microphone's kind of sensitive, and the guy next door's getting on a bit, and he's a bit deaf, and I know he's got his TV and stuff going at the moment, so you might pick that up. But I'm just transferring some material from the cameras. Done that one already, obviously. Just bunging that onto my desktop so I can... There is an issue with this one. It records all the file formats exactly the same. And I don't mean exactly the same as in obviously the same format. I mean the same name. Bonkers. It records it in the correct order, but it's all under exactly the same numbers. I think there's... It's 2016, obviously the year, and then it's 0101, never set any dates and times up on it. And then it's always 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros and a 7. It's all of them, every one of them. And then it's 003. How does it know which file's which if it doesn't even vary the numbers? It puts them in the correct order, so the first one's at the top, you know, and so on and so forth. So all I do is I rename it, press 1, highlight all of them, rename the top one, press enter, and then of course I get in the brackets 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, they're all called 1, but then it's... So I actually know the difference. I don't know why it's doing it. It never used to. Never used to. And this is the SJ cam, if anyone's curious. The 4000, this one was. But it never used to, I'll tell you that. Well, such is life. Yeah, I want a trip. Look at that. We've got 2 of them. Oh dear. Delete off of that. Yeah. The other half's into slate tableware. So, we've got a load of slate turned up. I don't know. I come home one day and there's slate on the table. It's like, fair enough, whatever. To each their own, I suppose. The simple fact is, I don't spend very much time here. I should really sit up straight, shouldn't I? I don't really spend too much time here. Whereas Bert does. So I let her have say of the decor of the house. Basically, I literally, the hours I do and the stuff I have to do on my days off, like I've got to do my account, I've got to print out my bank statements now, go down to the accountants, then I've got to do some shopping because Bert's off some training and all that kind of stuff because she's trained to be management. It's just a case of I literally come in this place, I sleep, I eat dinner, I edit my vlogs and I leave. It literally, this is... It sounds bizarre to say it, but it's not really a home to me, if that makes sense. It's just a staging area. It literally is. I come in, at the end of work, I will come back and bring my bag in, because obviously it's got my cameras and stuff in, dump it by the fireplace. I'll then go into the kitchen, sort out whatever I'm going to bung in the oven for half hour, an hour, whatever it is I'm eating for dinner. Then come back out, download all the material onto this thing. I need to turn the screensaver off because that's going to bug me, keep going black. Download all my material onto this thing. Then figure out all the bits I want to use, because obviously this is quite a large file format. I mean, it wasn't yesterday's recording because I didn't really do too much. I did Cambridge Wellingborough, so it was a little bit driving up there. It's moved them over. It is what it is. But no, it's download all the material, figure out what parts I want. Usually by the time I've done that, dinner's burning, so I'll go and munch that. Then I'll get back to doing this, edit it, TV playing in the background so I can keep up with various little bits and bobs like well, it was Deadliest Catch, there's the Wicked Tuna, there's Fast and Loud, Misfit Garage, those kind of things. So I keep them playing in the background, so I'm kind of splitting my attention. And then I go to bed, get up, and go to work. And that is literally it. It's odd, but it is what it is. I just stay here. That sounds weird, I know, but such is life, such is life. But as you all know, I don't really want to stay in the UK anyway, so I don't really feel at home in the UK, to be fair. I never have done. Weird thing is, I feel at home in Scotland. So yeah, I do feel at home in the UK, but in Scotland. That's bizarre, isn't it? It's literally, when I've gone away on holiday or things like that, and I've stayed in the country, you know, save money as you do, and I've gone north of the border, I instantaneously relax. As soon as I cross into Scotland, I relax. And you might sit there and think, oh, it's because you're going on holiday. No. When I went to Yorkshire, wasn't relaxed at all when I was up in Yorkshire. Not once. I've been to Cumbria. Beautiful place. But no. It is literally, you kind of cross that Gretna Green kind of boulder area. You get just across there and I just feel a weight lift. And it's the same as when I've gone to Canada or when I've been in America. But never anywhere else. I've been to Germany and Austria, France for school trips, I don't know how many times when I was younger. Been to Spain, I've done Italy. Sounded a bit wrong, didn't it? No, I've been to Italy. Never been to Australia, never been to New Zealand. Never been there. And virtually every Asian country you can think of, I've never been to them. But it's weird, isn't it? It's where you feel at home, I suppose. It's where you feel relaxed. I don't know. I'm just jabbering on. Now, they did send me, oh, what's she saying now? Bert's just sent me a message. I went to have a look at the message my accountant sent me for the bank statements, and Bert sent me one, so that's come flying up on the screen. Pay for parking. Oh, okie dokie. She can't park down by the hospital. Right, that's whatever it is. Where's my email gone? I need to find, aha, bank statements. Right, they have bank statements from November 2015, so I've got to go February, March, April. You see, my financial year ends at the end of February, but I always like to give them February again, because obviously they can work out what they need, what they don't need. So February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, and I've got everything from November. Bonus. It's not going to take me too long, hopefully, so I can crack on with that. My internet's gone crap. It keeps logging me out. I just don't need this headache. And they've changed the way they do it at Lloyd's. Before I used to be able to export, but I used to be able to print with Lloyd's format bits and bobs between dates. You know, usually 3 months style thing. I think it's 150 transactions or something like that, but about 3 months worth for argument's sake. And it won't let me do it now. This is going to take a lot longer than I thought. That's the shopping done. Look what she's got me buying. Couscous. What the hell is couscous? A great alternative to rice and pasta. What in God's name? Bloody couscous. I thought it was that kind of stuff you got at Ponzi restaurant. But no. I got the text message, you know. On the shopping list today, couscous. I had to ask where it was. I walked past it twice, it turns out. I was like, where's couscous? Oh, she didn't bleed know either. No, the bird who worked there didn't have a clue. Got the bread, got the, look at that. That's what we get now, we get those. You know, as she refers to it, the squeezy juice. But the Tesco one. Oh, not the Robinsons one, no, the Tesco one. yeah, so done all that. I would have taken you with me to the accountant's, but I lost my rag at the internet and the fact that Lloyd's business side kept logging me off. Every time I was going in, I was backdating to get the statements. It was a case of they logged me off. Yeah. I was like, what? I need to get my statements and print them out. So I'm getting my statements, opening the window, you have been logged off, error. I spent, what was it, about 2 hours trying to figure a way around it. I moved all over the place, I did everything, I just, it wasn't having any of it. So in the end I went down the accountant's, but I was in a bad mood, so I left the cameras here. I was like, no, because I'm just going to be raging. And fortunately, on the way back I had to fill up, so I got a Costa. I am now calm. But I was absolutely raging. I've bought multiple boxes of those. Wonderful. Bung them in the freezer. I never put them in the freezer. I've actually got their own dedicated drawer. I've got Dime ice creams, Oreo ice creams, Magnums, and any other things that I end up buying, I bung in that drawer. They have their own dedicated drawer. It's like I've got my own dedicated beer fridge, my own dedicated ice lolly drawer, and there is a cat creeping around down here. Look at it. Look at his bonds. Look at his bonds. Hello. Look at his bonds. Look at the top of his head. Engine oil. He's been underneath the car and lifted his head up. What do you want? What do you want, eh? Wordy. There you go. He's seen the food. We feed him in here. So yeah, he's lifted his head up, bounced into somebody's leaky oil sump and knackered that. So, and he's a white cat, isn't he? Of course, he's ginger and white. And did it bounce him right in the ginger? No, as you saw, bounced him right on the white. It's been like that about a week. Can't get it out. So we're just going to let it grow out. Can't win. But yes. Anyway, I've got the potatoes there. I've put everything else away. Isn't it joyful? I need to get one of those Canon G7Xs that Josh uses, because then I can do the old la la walk around like that instead of sticking you to a window somewhere in my home and just kind of standing here. So I need to get one of those at some point, but they're a hell of an expense. That's 600 quid I've been finding them for. I know there's a few places that do it for about 300 quid, so I'll have a look. I might even get a slightly down version, like a, what is it, G5 is it, I think they do? I think they're a slightly smaller version. But anyway, I'm going to put the bread away, put the potatoes away. Haven't got a clue what time Bert gets home from her new job. It's a new job, she's changed them so many times, I don't know what time she finishes anymore. Oh, this is all fun, isn't it? Oh no. Oh crap. This is a look that every man who's been in a relationship for long enough will have one day. Because I've just realised something. My other half expressly told me she needed some of the female hygiene bits and bobs that ladies need every so often. Guess what I didn't buy? Oh crap. Well, it's all that put away, done, lovely. Oh, I forgot to throw those out. I'll throw those out in a minute. Now, I've seen this advertised in a few places so far, and I'm not in a position to be able to afford to buy it. but it's a Buick Centurion. It's a 72, it's a 455. It's been completely restored engine-wise about 10,000 miles ago. And I've seen this advertised here, there and everywhere, and I know a guy who knows a person who's selling it. It's up for 8,500. Now, they're not the best looking American motors. I'm personally a fan of Buick, or the 70s ones, the 60s, well, to be fair, 50s, 60s, 70s, those kind of Buicks. I'm a fan of those. But the 72 is probably the best shaped one, because he didn't have to have the 5 mile an hour bumpers, the safety bumpers of all the 73s had to have. And it's got a decent 455 in it, so that's what, 7.5 litre. And it's in Cheshire. Now, you will find this, it's a white one, and it's the only Centurion being advertised at the moment. I won't give out any phone numbers, because I'm not going to start doing that kind of thing. But you will find it advertised on Car and Classic, Classic Cars. You will find it eBay, believe it or not. Obviously in Classic American, he's got it advertised everywhere. Bodywork is supposedly mint, but it's been advertised and nobody's really looking at it because it's a Centurion. I mean, they're not fantastically amazing, wonderful vehicles. But for 8,500 quid, you're not going to get much bigger. And with a 455, I mean the Buick 455 motor, it's a good engine. For what he's asking for it, I mean, I've seen these things same age going for about 14, 15 grand, and the only reason I'm mentioning it is because I stopped to get this today, and I was looking through the sale section, as I always do, because I've got to start trying to get my income back up again, and I know flipping cars, you can make some money on it, and I have been known to do that in the past. And I was just flicking through, and I got to, it's the first page, it's that one right there. I don't know whether that camera's going to pick that up, so sorry if it didn't, but it's the first page, and I've seen it all over the place. I've been keeping my eye on it, to be fair, and now I've seen it in here as well, in the latest edition one. I thought I'd do something on my YouTube channel, because I know there might be somebody watching who's into the Americans, who's looking for something reasonable from the 70s, under like 10 grand, something like that. The Centurion is massively overlooked because it had a very short run, 71 to 73, same as the Boattail Riviera. The interior is virtually the same between the two. What was it? The Riviera was the G platform, I think. The Centurion was B platform, something like that. I can't remember now. But the interior is virtually the same. The engines are the same. I think the 455 in the Centurion actually put out more horsepower. I think they were about 300 and something. But because I've seen it everywhere, and I don't usually do this kind of stuff, I know. But because I've seen it everywhere, and I don't have the money for it. Because if I had the money for it, I'd be doing a review of me driving it. But seriously, if you're looking for something under 10 grand and you want, you know, the big kind of guttural V8 or something that will give you that with a few modifications, a few touch-ups, then seriously, the Buick Centurion, have a look. But anyway, I thought I'd just put that in today. But no, I'm looking round. Oh crikey, an 84 Elco. Ooh, the front of that's all nasty. It's missing all the trim, everything. And he wants 7,500 for an 84 Elco 305 with none of the front grille lights or anything. Good luck with that one, mate. I mean, it's an 84 as well. They're not exactly the, you know, it's not exactly the 68 Elco, is it? I mean, you've got A Malibu up there, that's a 66, that's 25 grand. But no, I do like keeping my eye on the old. Ooh, hello, what's that? A 69 350 Elco, 14,500. Hold on a minute. An 84 305 for 7.5, or a 69 350 for 14.5. There's only one winner. That's a 69. Elcos are so nice. Ooh, I shouldn't be looking at this. If Bert comes home now, she's going to have a massive go at me. Oh, don't be looking at bloody cars. Woo. There is some. Ooh, 38 International pickup. And it's in Essex. 13.5. Not bad, not bad. It's Mustangs. Mustangs are the single most produced muscle car of their era. They are everywhere. Literally. I mean, fair enough. The GT350, and that's, you know, obviously he's not going to put. It's a 68 Shelby Coupe, just arrived. It's the Eleanor Grey, it's a 350, so it's obviously not the 5. And obviously it's an investment vehicle, so he's not putting the price down, but I'm going to hazard a guess it's going to be relatively steep. But you got all these Mustangs, you got 20 grand, 20, 30, 32, that's 14.5, but that needs some work. And it's 12.5, but that's a 289. And you look at it and you think, they were the most overproduced vehicles of their era. And people pay so much for them. There are companies that manufacture to original spec everything. Every component part, every panel, chassis, everything. So you could build your own, probably cheaper, with modern parts, you know, modern engines that work, an LS motor in it, for example. Have a retro style, buying all your component parts in the colour that you want, with modern performance and everything like that, for less. And then, I'm not a big fan of Mustangs. Okay, I hold my hand up. I'm not a big fan of them. But they're just so overpriced. Every time I open the page, open the book, I go on wherever, a web page, whatever, they're so expensive. But, oh well. Ooh. Pontiac Le Mans. 13.5? A 67? That's in Somerset. Yes, I just thought I'd take you with me as I go through these magazines. Well, this magazine, I don't have multiple magazines. I've got a 78 Trans Am in blue for 20 grand in Northern Ireland. I've seen that advertised in a few places. And Firebirds, they've taken off, haven't they? But you got a blue one here in excellent throughout, supposedly, and he's wanting 20 grand for it in Northern Ireland. You got one in London, which is a 77, and it really does. A couple of small modifications, and it will look exactly the same as the old Smoking the Bandit one, because it basically is anyway. For 8,750. Plymouth Barracuda, 20 grand. Cheap for a Barracuda. Now, for Americans who are watching me, I'm talking pounds sterling. And you might be sitting there doing the conversion thinking, that's bloody expensive. Yeah, but this is imported from America with all the European handling charges, tax, and everything else. Don't. Importing parts into this country for these cars is impressively expensive. I used to have a friend who lived in Jersey, so I used to get them sent to him and then he'd send them on to me and I got round some of the tax. But, Yeah, not too bad. Mustang GT. What's that? 58,000 miles. It's a relatively new one. It's 2005. 13 grand. It's not too bad. Lincoln Town Car. Don't mind those. They're nice for cruising around in. Old Lincoln. Lincoln Continental. Yeah. Oh well, I suppose I should do something different with my day. Oh, just look through this, get bored. But no, I've got to start now. I'm not. I put everything on hold this year. I didn't bother doing anything that I wanted to do. And oh yeah, had a conversation with Bert. Can't remember if I mentioned this yesterday. I might have done, so if I did, I'm repeating myself. Sorry. But we've postponed having kids for a while. We're just not in that situation. We can't get around it. There's no way around it. We've postponed having kids for the foreseeable future, and that's going to make having kids a lot harder. There are issues involved. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but there are issues involved, and yeah, so that's a bit of a kick in the nuts, unfortunately. But we've had to. We've got no choice. Even if we were getting rid of the cars, I've still got to save the money to make up the differences, to pay them off, if that makes sense, and then I've got to get replacements. So I did nothing that I should have done this year, and I should have just. You live and learn, don't you? You live and learn. But there we go. Sorry, shiny things in front of me. I love reading these because you get people who really do OEM spec restos, and of course they get featured, they get the centre spread, and you're looking at them, and the 61 Chrysler is what I'm looking at the moment, and it's immaculate. I mean, it is factory condition. It's a 265. Hold on, is it a 265? Because they've got a photo of the engine bay. Yes, it's 361. Sorry, it's 265 horse. That's what it's rated up to. It's a 361 cubic inch V8. So that's 5. About 5.7, isn't it? I think it's about 5.7 litre, isn't it? Off the top of my head, I don't know. But it's old Chrysler. I shouldn't be doing this because I cry now. I look at it and I think, oh, I want one of those. I want that one and that one and that one and. Look at that Continental. Talking about Continentals, there's a guy with a green one. Mike Churchill's immaculate 73 Lincoln Continental Mark IV. Look at that. God, and Continentals are not that expensive. So if you Continentals actually, they've always kind of been a mainstay if you're going to get into classic Americans. You start off with them. Kind of a Mustang, you start off with a Mustang, don't you? Or you start off with like a Continental. They tend to be the mainstay because there was a lot of them made. And they're holding their prices now, has to be said. But they're a good starter. If you're going to get into classics, they're a good one to look at. A bit suspension-y wise, but you can change that. You know, you've got to do some modifications, haven't you? But anyway, I suppose I've dragged today on far too long. I'm not going to be making anything tomorrow, you see, which is why I've dragged this one on a bit. But I shall see you in the next one, which will most likely be Wednesday. Ooh. Shiny things. But, oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, an entire shell for a Shelby Mustang. Although that's price on asking. Yeah, 68 Ford Mustang Fastback 351. £50,000. It's been heavily modified. You know, he's bonkers, isn't it? It's absolutely bonkers. Oh well, that's just my personal opinion, you know, I'm not a massive fan of the old Mustangs, like I said. But anyway, cheers for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, share about, do whatever it is you usually do. I shall see you in the next one, whenever that will be. Most likely Wednesday now, because obviously I've got Simon coming around tomorrow. I think about 11 AM. But yes, cheers guys, and hi to all the Americans and Canadians that are watching me. I've been watching my American average viewing percentage increasing, so cheers. And the Canadians, you've been doing it as well. You've been doing it as well. Come on, start sharing me about over there. Come on, get me going, get me going. I want to go to Canada, come on. Get me known before I get there. But anyway, cheers guys, and I will see you in the next one.